G'day and welcome to the Choosing Your Uni podcast. My name is Rob Malicki. In today's episode, we're taking a look at whether a gap year before university is actually a good idea and what the research really says about it. So here's a stat that might surprise you. Only about 3% of gap year students in Australia are primarily travelling. 3%. That backpacker stereotype we all picture, it's almost entirely fictional. According to NCVER research, about 40% of gap year students spend their time in paid work. Another 33% are doing some form of study or training. Most people are working, saving, and building real skills. Now, there's a common worry that taking a gap year means you'll lose direction, but the data actually says the opposite for most people. Research from the Gap Year Association found that 60% of gap year students said the experience either confirmed their degree choice or set them on a completely new path. And that makes sense, right? When you've worked a real job, taken on some responsibility, lived outside a classroom for a while, you tend to show up at university knowing exactly why you're there. That said, I want to be honest about the other side too. Gap year students do show slightly lower completion rates than those who go straight in. The transition back into formal study takes intention. A gap year that drifts into 2 years, then 3. That's a different situation entirely. The students who struggle most after a gap aren't the ones who took time off. They're the ones who took time off without any sense of what it was for. Now, one of the biggest fears people have is losing their university place. And this one's actually really straightforward. Most Australian universities let you defer an accepted offer for 1 year without reapplying. You accept the offer, request the deferral, and your place is held on the same terms. Some competitive courses like medicine might have stricter conditions, so always check directly with your university. But for the vast majority of courses, deferral is routine. And importantly, deferring does not affect your ATAR or the terms of your original offer. You're holding exactly the place you earned. So how do you actually decide? Well, a gap year tends to work well if you're genuinely unsure what to study, if you want to save some money before starting, if you have a specific plan, whether that's work, volunteering, or building skills, or if you just need a reset after years of continuous study. On the other hand, going straight in makes sense if you know exactly what you want and you're motivated, if you have financial support and no pressing need to save, if you know that restarting will be hard for you personally, or if your course has cohort-based progression that's difficult to re-enter later. And notice what's not on either of those lists. Because everyone else is going straight in. Or because my parents think I should. Neither of those is a reason. One more thing worth mentioning. Not everyone who takes time off between school and university plan to. Maybe your results didn't meet the cutoff. Maybe a life event got in the way. Maybe a deferral stretched longer than expected. If that's your situation, it's worth knowing that universities have well-worn pathways for exactly this. Mature age entry, enabling programs, stat test pathways, alternative admissions processes, they all exist precisely because life doesn't always follow the expected schedule. An unplanned gap year is not a closed door. It's just a different starting point. So whether you're thinking about deferring, applying right now, or figuring out what pathways are available because your timeline looks a bit different to what you originally planned, make sure you check out the free resources at Choosing Your Uni. It's independent guidance designed to help you find the right path, whatever that looks like for you.